this is our new segment, Career Callings, and we have Miss Hudson to tell us more.
Hi, I'm Miss Hudson. I'm your career coach, and my job is to help you explore your future career pathways and put you on the path to success. And as part of that, it's exploring careers, and that's what we're here to do today. And we're very excited that Long Beach TV is airing a new feature called Career Callings that focuses on the everyday lives of business and career professionals. And we're so happy to have for our first segment Miss Hannah Milliet with the Port of Gulfport, and Reagan is going to spend some time talking to her about her career.
I was wondering, what was your technical, job title?
I'm the Marketing and Public Relations Specialist for the Mississippi State Port Authority, or more commonly known as the Port of Gulfport.
So, what do you do? What's your responsibilities as the job, and, what a typical day looks like?
Yeah, so I pretty much handle all of our external communication. So that's any media coverage. I'm our liaison to the local news outlets. I am in charge of kind of messaging our brand, all social media. I create our content, review our analytics. I schedule port tours. I work with community organizations, and so I'm a representative for the port to the Mississippi Gulf Coast Chamber of Commerce, the Rotary Club of Gulfport, and the Public Relations Association of Mississippi. I attend events on behalf of the port. I plan events for the port. I talk with the local advertising companies, international advertising companies, whether it be digital, print, magazine, social advertising, that kind of thing. And yeah, any external public-facing, content falls under me.
What education or qualifications, or what did you need to require? What was required for the job?
Yeah, so I went to school for public relations and advertising. That's what I majored in my undergrad at Southern Miss. So I would say pretty much any major in the field of communications, marketing, public relations, or advertising could kind of fall under that umbrella and supplement a career such as that.
Do you enjoy your job? Does it, are you passionate about it, or?
Yes. Yeah, so in high school, I remember my freshman year, I guess this is kind of how I decided that this is what I wanted to do. My freshman year, I took I think it was an oral communications. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it was basically a public speaking class. Fell in love with it, loved the art of public speaking and kind of the art of how you message something, and I don't know, I just was fascinated with that. So that was my freshman year. And so going into senior year, when I was thinking about college and what I wanted to do, was kind of reminded of that. I had a teacher in high school that told me, was if you can either find something that you love or makes money, then you'll be good. Or do something that either you love or makes money, then you'll be good. But if you find something that does both, then you've hit the jackpot. And so when I was kind of thinking about the potential, I was like, okay, well, I at least have to hit one of those two marks. And I loved communication. And so my senior year, I took, I think it was DC Oral Com with Miss Vivian Ward. And that solidified. I was like, okay, I really do love this. But I don't know, I just always loved people. And so when I was touring, I toured at Mississippi State and Southern Miss, and ultimately ended up going to Southern Miss. But yeah, that's kind of, I did more research into public relations, and that's how I learned to kind of love what I do. So yeah.
Are there any disadvantages or things you would change about your job?
I don't know if there's necessarily a glaring disadvantage, but something I guess I struggle with sometimes is, I guess because I'm constantly kind of putting out content or speaking on behalf of the port or kind of voicing as the port, I get really caught up in, I guess, the perfectionism of it and wanting to make sure everything is perfect and there's no loose ends, which is good because it drives, I guess, a better quality piece, but I think sometimes that's just something I struggle with. It's not getting caught too much up in that. So I guess not too much of a disadvantage, but a struggle sometimes.
What are other jobs and other people that you work with and what they do?
Yeah. So referencing back, I guess, to the advantages question you asked earlier, is one of my favorite parts is because I'm the communicator in a way. I have to learn all the other parts of the company and organization and how things run, which is really cool because I get to work with ops and learn what operations does or engineering without, of course, that's not my strength, but I still get to learn the ins and outs of the business and how everything runs. So them, finance and accounting, you just kind of have to work in tandem with them in any company pretty much. And those are, I guess, operations engineering and finance and accounting are the three big ones that I work with the closest.
What would be like your salary range for someone in your career field?
Yeah. It of course depends on the, I guess, level that you are, but I would say entry level marketing tends to be probably in the 40s. And then as you get to senior leadership, you can be easily six figures. So it just depends, I guess, on the level.
Do you have any like advice for the students or anything you'd want to add?
Yes. So I just graduated in 2019 from Long Beach High School. So I grew up in Long Beach K through 12. So I guess that was a little over 4 years ago. It wasn't that far ago. At least I wouldn't like to think it was. But I think my biggest piece of advice coming out of high school and especially through the last 4 years of college is that you're going to school isn't just solely about how you perform in the classroom. It is, and I don't want to discount that at all because like I had to uphold my grades to, well. But your teachers are also there to kind of help pour into you and mentor because, coming out of college, when you're in college, you've got to make those connections for your career while you're there because all of a sudden you're graduated and it's like, what do you do? So my mentors helped me create those connections and find internships throughout college and even the relationships that I built in high school with my mentors here. So I think that was one, I guess not just focusing on your education, but also getting connected and working in the field that you're in, finding internships. That's huge. I have never had a job that I cold applied to. So every job that I had through college, and even this one, was always through someone I knew. Of course, I had to go through the job application process, interview process, but it was kind of, the position was led to me one way or the other. I was pointed to it. And so I think that also, be confident but not cocky. Your confidence, never sell yourself short. And 3, your social media is so important. So your social media reputation, what you put online, it never goes away. And I know people hear that a lot. But like your Finsta, I'm sorry, it's just not always a good look. So just be careful what you put on online because that's ultimately your reputation. And lastly, I know high school might be, some people feel like thinking about your adult job is so far away. But there's a quote, I think it's by Maya Angelou, that I really, really like. And it basically says that people won't always remember what you say, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And so I guess just be nice and treat people well, because even if I haven't seen someone in 5 years, I remember kind of what my relationship with them felt like and how they were as a person. So be nice, be confident but not cocky. Watch what you put on social media and make connections.
Okay, thank you so much. That's it for this week's section, but we'll be back with more people.